I wanted to enlist and win the war for the United States. Kidding, but that was our drive, I think. I was just a young 17-year-old Marine, not dry behind the ears yet, really, and I was just going for the ride and experience, I think, until I got on Iwo Jima, and when I saw a few people killed, well, I knew that was serious then. I was born at Noad, Oklahoma in 1927. When I was 16, I took off on my own, went to Lawrence, Kansas, and entered school there, high school. And all my buddies had been called up or enlisted. And after I turned 17, I had to get my mother's consent to join the Marine Corps. So I went to Kansas City and enlisted, and that was in March of 1944. I went to boot camp, I think it was in San Diego boot camp, and after boot camp, went to Oceanside, California, at the Marine Corps base there, and took training. And in September, I think it was about September the 16th, we boarded ship to go overseas. And we stopped at Pearl Harbor, and we were there about 3 or 4 days, and then we boarded ship again and went on to Guam, where I joined the 3rd Marine Division. And I was in B Company, 1st Battalion, 9th Marines, 3rd Division. And we trained there, and then we were afloat about 2 weeks. My recollection is poor now after 70 years. We were supposed to be a floating reserve for Iwo Jima, and we were headed for Okinawa, is what I understood. We were at anchor off the island of Iwo Jima, and on the first wave went in February the 19th. That was the invasion date. And they took so many casualties, they unloaded all but one regiment of the Marine Corps to go ashore, and we went ashore, I think, D+5. And on D+6, we relieved the 21st Marines who'd gone in before we did. And we went right straight up the middle of the island, with the 4th Division was on our right, and 5th Division was on the left. They were the two assaulting divisions first. I was declared as a company runner, which I didn't know about before. Sent out to see if we could find our flanks. I went out looking, but I couldn't find the flanks. It looks like we'd moved, and the rest of them didn't move in succession. When I was trying to find the flanks, I came under fire, and I jumped in a big crater. My sergeant came running up at the same time, a little shortly after I jumped in. He got hit with a sniper shot, and he died right there. I was trying to help see where he was shot. And we took many casualties, and we had replacements, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. Their general told them that they knew they were gonna get annihilated there, but he wanted every one of the Japanese to kill at least 10 Marines before they got killed. And that was their mindset. And they did a pretty good job. There was 6,800 people, Americans, killed on that island. And they say there's 21,000 Japanese killed, so a lot of killing going on. Either kill or be killed is what it boils down to. Everyone of the original platoon that I went ashore with, my platoon, were either killed or wounded. And I think I was there about 30 days to the end of the campaign. And after the war was completed, the ones that had enough points to come back to the States came back, and ones that didn't have, I went to China for about 4 months, and then back to San Diego after that to get discharged. I didn't have anyone to greet me when I came home. I got off the bus and I walked down to, it was about 3 blocks down to from the bus station, and met my mother. It was a surprise to her that I was there at that time. She didn't know when I was coming. Well, my take on war is not the common people that want to fight. We have to do the dirty work for the ones who make the decisions. The common people, any country, I don't think would ever have war if they had control. One thing I did learn probably with my service, that you really need a good education. And I was determined that I was going to come back and go to college and learn all I could. So I did spend 5 semesters at Kansas University. Didn't do very good with the grades, but I got what I could out of it. Before I finished university there, I went to work as a deputy sheriff at Lawrence, Kansas. And they reactivated the ordnance plant at Sunflower. I was worked there a year and a half with Hercules as an investigator. And then from there I joined the security force at Union Pacific Railroad. And I was there 35 years and retired from. So I've been retired about 30-some years now. Evelyn, we met at a nightclub at Lawrence in '43, I think it was, and we dated for a while, and she was a year or 2 older than me. And when I went to service, we kept in contact and kept the romance going till I got home. We got married in November 14, 1948, and she died on February 16th, 2013. We were married 64 years. We had 2 children, two boys. My youngest son, Brad, has 2 boys, Ben and Marshall, and both are married. Ben has 1 child that was 2 years old now. He's my great-grandson. Well, I'm still able to do most of my yard work and around the house and maintenance. I kept pretty active with golf for exercise. This group that I'm with, there's a foursome, and we try to play at least once every week or twice if things go right. Days we couldn't play, we met it for coffee, and so we wound up at Panera's at 119th Street. For 60 years, I lost track of our corpsman that we had, and didn't know where he lived or where he was or whether he's even living but I joined the 3rd Marine Division Association, and they print a publication every month or periodically, and they show the new members, and he was looking at his, and he told his wife, says, "I know this guy." And one day I was sitting at the computer, and 60 years later, this phone call comes in, and it's John Conley. It's ironic. way things happen. It's a small world, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your Budweiser and join us in honoring Private First Class Ed Boswell and all those who keep our nation safe and free.
It was a concern in my mind what war was like and whether we were going to be committed into a war. I got to where there was so much death that I got deathly sick. When I don't know, deathly sick, but I was awfully sick. I was throwing up and I had diarrhea, and you get the feeling that you really don't care whether you get hit at times, and it's a bad feeling. People are in this country glamorize the news and the media of war, but war is nothing glamorous about a war. Very serious. I don't think that we demand any recognition or anything, but it's good that people realize what we didn't go through. I wear my little Iwo Jima survivor hat, and I've had people just come up and hug me. Like I say, it's not demanded or we expect it, but it's nice that people are realizing what we did do. I felt it was a duty to be available to serve the country. Proud that what we did, we accomplished. Yeah.